What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 9, Episode 16, the Patrick and Thais edition. So they are in Miami, and Patrick's friends have planned a yacht party for Patrick and Thais. Thais is not really feeling it. She's tired. They've been traveling a lot. She just really wants to chill out, sit down, relax, and have a conversation with Patrick about their relationship, this upcoming marriage. But she's getting pulled in all of these different directions. She complains about, once again, Patrick making decisions without involving her, and that, whatever he decides, she just has to go along with it. So they're on the yacht with their friends. Patrick is having a good time with his homeboy. They're jumping off the yacht. They're swimming in the ocean, just having a really good time. Thais, not so much. She's not happy. It's hard for her to really enjoy the moment when she's stressed out. And she really wants to just vent to someone. So she chooses to vent to this woman who she doesn't know, has never met a day in her life, doesn't know anything about this woman, but she decides that this is the one that I'm going to just unleash everything on. So she tells the friend that her dad is completely against the wedding. She herself is not sure if she even wants to get married to Patrick. And she said that her dad's opinion is more important to her than her love for Patrick. And I was like, girl, you are telling a complete stranger all of this? You know it's going to get back to Patrick. What? I feel like Thais should have just sucked it up. Pretended like she was having a good time, or tried to enjoy herself as much as possible. And then, because she's going to have a chance to talk to Patrick alone at some point, and she did in this episode, so why can't you just wait until then? Why are you telling a complete stranger such personal things about your relationship with your man? So my whole thing is, so now she's trying to talk about, Thais is putting on this show that she's really considering what her dad had said. She's really considering her dad's opinion about not getting married and going back to Brazil. But Thais knew her father was completely against her coming to America to marry any American man, regardless if it was Patrick or someone else, because she lied to her father about why she was going to America. So she knew her father was against it, but now she's acting as if once she had that FaceTime conversation with her dad in their home, that's when it dawned on her, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be doing this. My daddy doesn't like this. But you knew your dad didn't like this before you even left. And not only did you know that your father wasn't down with this and that he was completely against it because you felt like you had to lie to your father, but you were ready to get married to Patrick in Las Vegas. So where was the shy, timid little girl who has to follow her father's demands? Where was she in Las Vegas? Because so now the wedding day is getting closer. Okay, if you're having cold feet about it, then have a conversation with Patrick. I don't understand, where's the cold feet coming from? Because you were gung-ho about it in Las Vegas. You were actually angry that Patrick did not want to get married in the little white chapel, stand in line, to get ready to get married in this little white chapel in Las Vegas. But now you're going to have a real wedding, a real ceremony with friends and family there. Now, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm so confused about Thais right now. I am so confused. A lot of people have said that she just doesn't want to live in America. She wants to go back to Brazil. But what changed? What changed? She came to America on her own time, on her own dime. I'm assuming, unless Patrick paid for the trip for her ticket. She came to America completely on her own. She made up these decisions completely on her own. And let's not forget, Thais talks about how in Brazil she's very independent. She lives her own life, does her own thing, makes her own decisions. She listens to nobody, and she brings that up whenever she complains about Patrick making decisions for her and not consulting with her before he makes a decision. That's when she brings up, but in Brazil, I was so independent. I did my own thing. I lived my own life. I had my own friends. I didn't listen to anybody in Brazil, not even to your dad. So what has changed? What in the world has changed? So she's unleashing all this stuff on this stranger. The friend says in her own little confessional, the friend says that, Thais really waited to the very last minute to like start having second thoughts, and that she should have known by now, like exactly what she wanted out of this situation, like whether or not she wanted to marry him or not. That she should have already made up that decision by now. I just don't understand it. She was always excited about, going to Las Vegas. She was excited about going to Boston. She was excited about, every single time, she's excited about this. She's excited about when she first saw Patrick's first home. Oh, she was so excited about the house. She never once acted like, oh my God, I'm so worried about my father. What my father's going to say. I don't know if I should be here. I don't know if I should do this. Until after she FaceTimed her dad. But she knew her dad was not going to support any of this. Moving on. So Thais and Patrick are now at dinner, just the two of them. And now she begins to tell Patrick the concerns that she has about living with him and being married to him and this life that they're supposed to be having together. She has a problem with John. She's always had a problem with John. We know that. She tells Patrick, I want John to leave. I want him to move out. And she says she wants him out immediately. And Patrick says, well, I thought Patrick was going to say, no, my brother's staying with me. I thought that's what he was going to say, but he didn't say that. He actually said, okay, but he can't move immediately. We have to give him time, to move, obviously. I don't know why Thais doesn't know this, that, it's going to take time to find his own place, get the money together, so on and so forth. So Patrick is like, yeah, but we have to give him time to move out. We can give him like 3 months. He could have said a year, but he said 3 months. We'll give him about 3 months to, get his own place. The fact that their mother's dying, and I'm pretty sure deep down in his heart, I'm assuming they shared the same mom, that, the mother's dying, that, whatever emotional trauma John has gone through in the past, for him to need Patrick as much as he needs him, I'm pretty sure deep in his heart, this is like a real struggle for Patrick. But I guess Patrick is realizing that, maybe she's putting up with a lot with her dad, sacrificing a whole lot, going against her dad's wishes, that maybe he needs to sacrifice something as well. And so he's considering kicking his brother out, which I feel like he should have done. I think he should have done a long time ago. But before the girl even arrived, I think that was a discussion that he had to have with his brother. And if his brother needs emotional support, needs some type of emotional help from Patrick, they can still see each other. It doesn't mean that he's kicking him out of his life forever. They can still maintain a relationship. Patrick can go over to John's place and spend time with John over there. He can come over and spend the weekend with them. I don't think that Thais has a problem with that. I think she just doesn't want another person in her marital home every single day. And that's not what she signed up for when she decided to come to America and get married to Patrick, which is, to me, that's totally understandable. I feel bad for whatever John has gone through, whatever trauma he's gone through. And if they need each other like that, where they have to be under the same roof, then Patrick should never, ever, ever, ever have considered bringing Thais over. He should have kept her in Brazil. Then she would have been happy. Her father for sure would have been happy. And he would have been happy giving his brother the treatment that his brother needs. But that's not how it went. So he's okay with John moving out. He tells her, look, we'll give him 3 months to get himself together and then he can leave. Then Thais starts talking about how Patrick is so controlling and she's been waiting for him to change his ways, but she really hasn't seen a lot of change. He's very controlling. Everything has to go his way. And when she says controlling, Patrick is cheap, because I think about when they went to the furniture store and they only walked out with a vase when she wanted so much more, when she wanted like an entire living room set. He's definitely cheap. He needs to really change that, to understand that she's trying to make this home their home. She wants to see a little bit of herself in their home. He needs to really understand that. But as far as like him being super controlling, now when they fight, I think Patrick fights dirty. I think he gets very, very mean when they fight. I don't like how he fights with her when they argue. I really don't like it, especially when she doesn't do that. That's not how she argues. She expresses her issues. He doesn't like it. And then he completely shuts down. And for someone who's been through some type of childhood trauma and whatever else, you would think that he would have a little bit more sympathy, a little bit more gentleness about him, instead of just being like completely ready to cut her off every time they have an argument. Like he's just ready for her to go whenever they have an argument. But whatever. So She talks about, well, you're too controlling. And so I guess he's going to try to change that. He says he's going to work on that. And I'm wondering if Thais is using this whole thing about, oh, my dad doesn't like you. My dad doesn't want me to be here. My dad wants me to go back to Brazil. I wonder if she's using that to somehow manipulate Patrick into him doing what she wants him to do, to kick out John and to be less controlling. Because he understands that she might be willing to stay and get married to me, but, you know, the father's demands are still lurking around in the background of her mind that, you know, she might decide to just go ahead and listen to her dad. And so he's getting worried about losing her. So he's going to make all these changes for her. But maybe at the end of the day, Thais really doesn't care what her father thinks. She's always going to do what Thais wants to do. And she's just going to play this, oh, I'm so scared of my dad little girl role, just so that Patrick can hurry up and do the things that she wants him to do to keep her from going back to Brazil. I'm wondering if that's what's really going on. I don't want to put that on her, but that did pop up in my mind that maybe at the end of the day, she don't give a damn what her dad says. She's going to do what she wants to do, but she wants Patrick to also do what she wants him to do. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Anyway, that is my little review of 90 Day Fiance, Thais and Patrick edition. Thank you so much for joining me. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, please subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.